All right. We binged and we bonged.
We bonged? That's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
I ain't no druggie like that.
I'm like Luka Doncic out here hitting the hookah. Isn't that what that's called? Like the
what?
You know what a hookah is? It's like a Middle Eastern like thing for smoking weed. I think it's weed.
That's racist. Okay.
It might just be tobacco. Why is that racist?
Welcome everyone to
That's what it
episode
is.
7 of Movies Not Music. It is 7, right? We're gonna say 7.
No. We should have. I think we should have committed to that and just rolled with it. I think it is 7.
Welcome everyone to episode 7 of Movies Not Music with myself and Jaron, where we talk about a movie instead of music. Can you believe it? We really do, when you think about it, have the best names for segments. We have Movies Not Music. We have What Are We Listening To? And Who the Frick? Like, I just don't think there's a better podcast out there in general when you think about it. Who really competes with Waves on the Shore? Seriously speaking. Like, I don't think there is one.
Free Country with Grady Smith was a pretty good podcast until it died.
But is it on the level of Waves on the Shore?
We're just gonna dog on Grady right now.
Well,
it's actually kind of buns, not gonna lie.
Joe Rogan. It looks like a bro. Looks like he's filming in the back of a Circle K. We got this elite setup. We got this nice interface.
Bro, dude. All right.
Welcome everyone to the best podcast on earth. It is episode 7 of Movies Not Music, where we'll be talking about.
This is the 3rd intro of this episode.
Yes, it is, and don't interrupt me, or I'll make a 4th. We're talking about Southpaw today. That is the movie we selected. Jaron selected. I gave it a watch. Obviously, Jaron had already seen it. And yeah, we're going to talk about Southpaw, which I almost said featuring, like it's a song. Starred by Jake Gyllenhaal, Taylor Swift's favorite, my favorite.
Oh, is this what made you is the fact that Jake Gyllenhaal's in this movie, is that what made you, like, want to...
That motivated, because I was like, wait...
The posts on your story. Yeah, but we should say what we're talking about. Evan made some posts on his story antagonizing Taylor Swift fans. And one was Red, Jake's version. And he photoshopped Jake Gyllenhaal's face onto the cover of Red. And then he did the same with Fearless with John Mayer, which was hilarious. I still need to order my cardboard cutouts.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that the other day because I'm redoing my room. And I was like... What am I gonna put in here? And I was like, wait, am I gonna do the cardboard cutout?
What if we got Jake Gyllenhaal? We talked about that actually.
We did.
Whatever you end up getting, or if you end up getting one, kind of behind your like left shoulder, I feel like would like
just peering over.
Yeah, just kind of like all the way like up against the wall.
Up against the wall.
I think that'd look nice.
I think it would too.
But anyway, this is a good movie, I think.
I think it's a really good movie.
Yeah, and I knew that Evan, or at least I can't say I knew. I had a hunch that Evan would enjoy it. For those that don't know, Southpaw is an American sports drama film directed by Antoine Fuqua, and obviously, as we said, Jake Gyllenhaal is the lead, and then Forrest Whitaker and Rachel McAdams are in here. Rachel McAdams playing his dead wife. But yeah, I guess I'll give you the synopsis too.
Run that, and then we'll start getting
it. It's basically boxer. He's what weight? Like what class?
Light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight.
Genuinely could not tell you what that is in boxing, because boxing has so many weight classes.
Yeah, he's I think he was like 42-0. Yeah. He's champion of the world.
WBC.
And some tragedies befall him and his family, causing him to go into a depression and abusive, like alcohol. Like he starts abusing drugs. I shouldn't say abusive state, because then it sounds like he's beating his daughter. He did not do that. That doesn't happen.
His daughter beats him. She was throwing haymakers at the family center.
But yeah, and so he kind of starts to spiral, and it's a kind of sad, but also, I don't want to say heartwarming, maybe inspiring movie. It could be inspiring.
Yeah, basically his wife dies in an altercation. He completely goes off the rails. and then he loses
pretty
custody
one-sided. Oh, a pretty one-sided altercation, if you ask me, too. It's like, bro,
yeah.
like, why would you? Okay, first
Well,
off, I guess
should we get into that after we like, or do you want to?
Sure. Whatever. We don't have to talk about it now. We can. We'll get into it.
I just wanted to finish the recap, and then we could go back to that, just so we have that out of the way. Yeah, so he kind of loses custody of his kid. He loses his money. He loses his house. He loses everything. He then wants to get custody of his kid back, so he needs to get a job. So he starts working at this dinky little boxing gym, and then eventually wants to work his way back into boxing because it helps him keep a steady structure in his life. It helps him stay focused on whatnot.
It's the only thing he knows.
The only thing he knows, exactly. Because he grew up an orphan himself, and then he goes back and he wins the world championship once again. Billy Hope back on top of the world. Billy Hope being Jake Gyllenhaal. So that is kind of Southpaw in about 2 minutes. So now, now we're gonna talk about it. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, actually, just give me your general. Let's just start with you giving your general thoughts.
So I thought. I mean, I don't know what I'm expecting from a movie. That's the thing. Oh, I just kicked my garbage can. I don't know what I'm expecting from a movie when it comes to like boxing and stuff, because I have a feeling, right? It's gonna be the big Floyd Money Mayweather of this movie's world, and he's gonna win the title at the end. Blah 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 blah. But I did find this movie. So, despite that, I still found this movie like really an interesting watch, and not necessarily like interesting as much as it was like actually an emotional watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never thought I would like. I didn't cry, but like.
I think I probably cried, or at least I might not have cried. I probably got choked up the first time I watched this.
I was gonna say I didn't cry, but there was definitely times where like my eyes started watering a little. I was like, wait, this is a movie. Why is this happening? But they do a good. I think because he has everything, and you see that lifestyle, to see it all fall away so quick, then you're like, wait. But I kind of liked watching like. I kind of liked seeing all the Cartier watches and the car escorts and the big houses. Why are we in like some 300 square foot apartment now? So it's definitely, and watching like his daughter like start to like dislike him as she realizes like, hey, it's a heavy watch.
Yeah, it is. It's gosh, sorry. It's pretty big on the whole. Similar to Warrior, actually. There are some themes, not like, it's similar in the sense that there's themes of family, and sacrifice, and forgiveness, and other stuff like that. And I think a lot of sports movies have those themes, but a lot of sports movies are also pretty, they're pretty surface level, I think. So they can be. And I think that's partially why this one stands out to me. And for a couple of reasons, this movie, and because of one particular event, this movie reminds me of Rocky. And I won't say exactly why, because I think we're gonna watch it. You haven't seen it, right?
No.
Okay. I thought that's what you'd said. Yeah. So, and I'm excited for us to watch that. And I need to rewatch Rocky because I haven't seen it in a long time. But yeah, like as for me, it's been a hot second. I was telling Evan, it's been a hot second, so I had to do a refresher on this movie. But I remember really liking this movie, and there's a couple particular scenes that I remember being like, "Damn, that's tough." Like it's just like, life sucks sometimes, and for this guy, it's this movie finds what's his name? It's something Hope.
Billy Hope.
Billy Hope. The main character's name is Billy Hope. I don't know if we said that.
Yeah.
And actually on the poster, I thought this was cool. On the poster, there's like a tagline for the movie that says "Believe in Hope," and I thought that's like a cool play on words, like believe in.
It's almost like they named him so they could do that, probably.
Honestly, they might not have. Like sometimes things just work out, but who knows? They probably did it on purpose. But no, I think it's I think it's an underrated sports movie because people talk a lot about like I hear people talk about Rudy. I don't know if you've heard of Rudy.
Oh, I've seen Rudy.
I hear people talk about
One of my
Hoosiers.
teachers loved it. I watched it every year.
I was gonna say, see, yeah, people are like, oh, I love this sports movie. It's like what? Remember the Titans is another big one, but I feel like Southpaw, and then obviously Rocky is one that people talk about. But I feel like Southpaw is pretty good in its own right. Another one, Coach Carter. Coach Carter is very good. Have you seen that?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
Why do I feel like maybe I've seen it a while ago? I don't know.
That's a good one. Good basketball movie. But yeah, it's definitely a tear. It can be a tearjerker depending on what kind of movie watcher you're on. But,
I think the reason I was able to like get invested in it enough to the point where it did choke me up at times is because it was definitely like some of the most realistic, like as far as how they portrayed the actual fight scene.
Sure.
But like the whole boxing world, whether it be the press conferences, the interviews, the deals, the whatnot, it was like the most realistic. And so and then in that way it doesn't feel corny. Like I find a lot of the times, like that was my one criticism of Warrior, was the actual fighting. It was pretty dramatized, whereas here it's not like we're getting some crazy dramatic like whatever. It was just very realistic, so I was able to get more invested. The only thing that I don't think was realistic was the amount that now I'm getting nerdy. Okay. The amount of output, the amount of punches they were throwing there is not near. That is a fast.
Yeah, it's
fight.
just too many.
Exactly, but it's not like there's a gazillion like massive overhands that send them into the third bowl of seats and then they run back down because they got up. Shut up. It wasn't anything like that. It was like
nothing like that happened in Warrior.
No, but I mean, like, you know, it's not the whole Russian big scary Russian guy. Come on. Whereas this one, it's like, okay,
I get.
You've got Billy Hope. You've got this like in shape boxer. Is he from New York?
Yeah. So the movie actually mostly takes place in New York.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted
It was filmed in Philadelphia, though. Actually, in a town called Indiana. Shout out to Indiana.
I mean, he's from New York, and then like his main opponent for like, who starts the altercation where his wife gets shot, and the guy he ends up taking the title from at the end, he's just like a skinny Hispanic guy. So it's like, you know, this feels more like he's not some like
absolutely
dark horse like
up.
The whole world once in a lifetime person. It's just, this is the champ, this is the story, this is how it went, and you see how all like the press conferences go and whatnot. I'm like, this actually feels realistic. And I think one thing too that plays into that, and I found probably one of the most like moving parts, was when back before his wife dies and she's talking to him saying, you need to stop.
Rachel McAdams is hot in this movie.
Yes, she is. I was kind of sad to see her go. I was like, dang.
Rest in peace to a real one.
But oh no, don't tell me, last train of thought. Okay, so after his win at the start of the movie, she's like, you need to take a break or stop fighting. We have everything we need. Like, you don't need.
She's worried about him. Yeah.
She's worried about him for his health, and she's like, you're gonna be punch drunk in 2 years, saying the brain damage is gonna catch up to you. And during the movie, I think you can kind of, I mean, throughout the whole movie, you can definitely see through Jake's character, through Billy Hope, they definitely tried to like instill some subtle like hints towards like his brain is deteriorating. His speech isn't great.
Yeah.
He struggles to spell when he's talking with his daughter and whatnot. So I think for that too, it becomes like another thing of like the risk. It's not one of these like, you're gonna be okay, he wins the title and he's on top of the world, blah 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 blah. It's like, no, there's legitimate risks here. And like those are taken into consideration.
Yeah, I remember those moments watching it. I feel like kind of hitting me, like being the hardest for me to watch. Like when he's trying to help his daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
And he like just can't. And you know, like you're a dude whose wife was just murdered. You're losing everything. Your world is just completely different now, and you just can't help your daughter. That's like that's a very helpless place to be in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The one person that you care about, you you just
and all the
aren't able to
anger
help them.
issues and the lashing out. It's like that's one of their telltale signs of CTE. So it's like for me, again, just the realisticness. That's not a word, but like it was very accurate, so it was easier to buy into, and because I was able to, maybe that's why I was able to get
realism
because
is
I was
probably
able to
what
buy
you
into it. So therefore, I got emotional because it felt more real than like some fairy tale movie.
I gotcha.
But I liked it a lot.
Were there any particular scenes that maybe were like, I guess you were talking about the fighting, but that you weren't complaining about that. You were complaining about warriors fighting.
Yeah.
Was there a certain scene that like stuck, like was like that's like? Were there scenes that stuck with you? I guess is what I'm asking.
I noticed they like subtly used the instrumental of The Weeknd's "Wicked Games" during the sex scene. I was like, I know that song.
I don't even remember.
And I'm like, yeah, but they took it. I knocked something off. Hold on. I was like, well, I know this.
Wait, can you sing that again?
No.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. What did you think of Forrest Whitaker's character? Do you know who that is?
That would be the coach, right?
It was his name started with
Wills.
a T, right?
Tick Wills.
Tick, yeah. I thought it was cool that he like he was an old fighter. There's a reason that Jake came to his Billy, I should say Billy. Billy came to his. He was an old fighter, but he got permanently blinded in one of his eyes during a fight. And so like he's like you can just like see like
his eyes are foggy and cloudy.
Yeah, one of his eyes is foggy and cloudy, and it's actually kind of it's kind of badass, I think. But
and look up Michael Bisping's eye.
Michael Biscuit?
Bisping. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't know who that is.
Just search up Michael Bisping eye. The same thing legitimately happened in real life, where he.
How do I spell that? I'll do it.
Just
right
Michael and then BIS ping. It'll come up. But he was a fighter, and he had one fight. He had eye issues, but then he had a fight where he got hit by a punch, and it just completely took the vision out of his eye. So he's permanently blind in that eye, and so he has like a fake eye that he. See, he's like a commentator now. But it's funny, he has like a fake eye.
Did they take his eye out?
No. It's that weird foggy thing, but it's a little more gross for his because I think it's like permanently crossed or something. So, but he likes to every now and then when it comes up, he'll like gross out his commentator crew because he'll just be like, I'm taking my eye out. But so yeah, that is a real thing that does happen. And you know what's crazy? He didn't tell anyone, like. Because I guess doctor stuff's constant. I don't know. But he didn't tell anyone because he wouldn't have been allowed to keep fighting. So he kept fighting with one eye and actually wound up winning a title and then retired. With one eye.
That's how you do it.
Exactly.
That's how you do it. Wow. That's crazy to me, actually. Yeah, that's he does look. It definitely looks interesting. Like it's his right eye, I think, is what it is.
He has a really good podcast, actually. Not as good as ours, obviously.
I think he's been on Joe Rogan's.
He definitely has. He definitely has.
How Michael Bisping fought with one eye. Yeah, that was 7 months ago on Joe Rogan's podcast. Anyway.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the moment of the murder. One thing remind me, because you did just watch it. So if I remember correctly. Miguel is the other fighter who is talking a lot of talk against Billy. And they're at like a press conference. It gets a little heated, just yelling and stuff. And then Billy's wife, Maureen, right? I think that's her name.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Kind of is kind of up in the middle of it with Billy, and then a shot goes off, and she's the one that gets shot. And I'm pretty sure, like, Miguel's brother, shot her.
It was Hector. Hector. So Billy actually goes to Hector's apartment after trying to kill him, but he's not home.
Oh, wow.
So.
Yeah, and it's like, what is Hector doing? Why does Hector have I get maybe that's kind of their...
Fight, bro. Like,
that's
come
how
on.
That's how they live, but, like, you just can't You can't do that. Did
Yeah,
he
like,
get in trouble? Like, what happened? Like did we ever find out what happened?
It just gets, it's just a brawl. It's not like they're about to kill one of their guys. It's just, this brawl breaks out at, like, this fancy, like, reception hall.
Like a gala reception thing.
Yeah, there's a fight breaks out at a reception hall. And then he just pulls out a gun and shoots it. I don't even know if Hector was in the altercation. I swear he's outside and shoots.
It's almost like he was trying to kill Billy, but, like, if you kill Billy, well, you just killed Billy Hope. So, like,
and that's that's the way your brother's about to make money, is fighting Billy Hope.
Yeah, so it's like,
what's the strategy here, Hector?
Yeah, but some people do, but stuff like that does happen in real life. People just do whack things and, like, don't have a good reason for it.
Yeah,
so
and
it's
they're
like,
probably named Hector. What a weird
name. Oh wow, that was racist.
If you're what? I know one Hector, and he's white as snow.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
bruh.
I only know one Hector.
Well, I guess it's Canada, so. You guys don't even have any Spanish people living up there. They just don't exist in Canada. They're actually not allowed in Canada.
Yeah, we block the borders to them. We learned that from you guys.
Bruh, it doesn't. Are you kidding? We don't have to get into this right now, but
no,
people
we're not going to.
Brother, I do think this is funny though. I think, like, the governor of Texas or something like that. I don't know if it was the governor. It was like a mayor or something. Like, a bunch of immigrants were coming over, and so he loaded them up into a bus and sent them to, like, one of the Democratic governor's, like, house, like, their front doors. So, like, 2, like, bus loads of Mexican immigrants just are outside of the governor's front door.
Oh no. Oh, that's a long day.
I thought it was funny though.
Nah, that's a good troll as a politician.
But yeah, like, that whole scene, it's just frustrating. I think that's why it works so much, is because it's like and then it makes you hate. It really makes you root for
Oh yeah,
Billy,
you do not like. That's the one thing,
Yeah.
you actually don't like the other guys here.
Yeah, and then also we didn't like, so when Billy starts kind of spiraling and stuff, his trainer and his coach and stuff, they all leave him to go work with Miguel.
Which is kind of foreshadowed when his wife is talking to him about retiring, about not fighting, is because she says, you're, like, undefeated, you're like the Billy Hope bubble, but when it pops, they're going to scatter. And then, of course, as soon as his life starts unwinding, they all just ditched.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's...
Including 50 Cent!
Yeah, 50 Cent played his
turns.
coach, right? He played his coach, right?
He plays the manager, like
the manager, not his coach. Sorry,
the guy who works out with all the contracts and stuff.
He actually, you don't have a coach, right? You have a trainer.
What?
Do you have a coach and a trainer, or they're the same thing?
Depends. You have a coach, but you'll have trainers.
Okay, but I feel like I don't watch a lot of the sports actually, so most of my perception is through movies, and I feel like they usually, like, the person who's training them is often, like, coaching them in the movies, I feel like. So
yeah, so, like, generally you're gonna have, like, generally you're just gonna have, if you're not huge, you're gonna have, like, 1 or 2 people that run the gym you're at that will coach you when your fight comes.
What just happened?
So Jaron left. Jaron's back.
My Discord just, like, I didn't even touch anything. My Discord just, like, restarted. Like,
I was just mid-sentence. I was like, and Jaron left.
It closed and then just went back up.
Well, what I was saying, if you're smaller, like, the gym you train at, the coaches there are also the coaches that coach you at the actual fight. But a lot of gyms will have maybe multiple coaches. They might have a wrestling coach, a striking coach, a grappling coach, that kind of thing. And so you might have, like, you will have multiple cornermen, but you could even have multiple coaches.
A lot of guys working with you.
Yeah. So that's why, like, when they walk out, they'll have, like, 6 guys behind them, because they'll have a few buddies and a few coaches.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's how that works.
I'm learning.
Slowly.
We're crap. crap. What's the? I'm not gonna waste time trying to think of what I'm trying to say. We can do some trivia. I already kind of threw one out there. I got the IMDb trivia page pulled up here. I thought this was kind of cool. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. I'm reading one of these. I didn't see it when I was looking at this earlier. I'll read this one first because this is actually kind of cool. Apparently, Eminem was scouted for the role, like, originally.
Of the boxer?
Yeah. To be...
Him and 50 Cent?
to be Billy Hope. And apparently, he accepted and they started filming. And then the film got put on hold because Eminem wanted to focus on his music career. So then they just gave the role to Jake Gyllenhaal.
Interesting.
And if I'm being honest, Jake Gyllenhaal probably would have done a better job.
Jake Gyllenhaal actually killed his role.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal's a really good actor. He can play insane people. He can play aggressive, mentally damaged people. He can play a really nice guy, you know?
Like, his role was that was maybe the first time where, like, I sat there thinking about the acting, thinking, like, holy crap, this is, like, a really good acting job. He just sold the character so well.
This was kind of a big thing around this movie because this movie was actually the composer who was James Horner. He died shortly, I think actually a little bit before the movie actually came out. So this movie was one of the last soundtracks that he composed. And so at the movie, at the end of the credits, there's a little thing that says, in memory of our friend James Horner, because he died in a plane crash. Oh, it was actually only a couple days before the film came out. So, and then another thing about that, Antoine Fuqua, who is the director, one of my favorite directors, low-key, actually, a lot of good movies. He had no money to pay James Horner to compose the film because they just didn't have a huge budget, and Horner didn't care because he liked the concept for the film, so he just did it for free.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I've never seen that before, but James Horner, I thought if I remember correctly, the soundtrack is pretty decent in this movie.
And that was Wicked Games by the Weeknd.
Yeah, but James Horner didn't do that.
Are we sure James Horner doesn't get some production credits on Wicked Games?
You can look it up.
Are you telling me Wicked Games was not made for Southpaw, even though it was like 5 years before?
Okay, so apparently this movie...
Are you telling me Jake Gyllenhaal is not The Weeknd? Keep going.
Evan.
I'll shut up.
And still on the James Horner thing, just because it is a little interesting to me. This was his second to last film that he composed. The next one being another movie by Antoine Fuqua called The Magnificent Seven, which was a Western that is a remake of the original Magnificent Seven, which was based off of the Japanese film The Seven Samurai. So, wow. That movie's soundtrack is actually it's pretty fire, actually. One of my favorites.
It's funny because I don't know movie soundtracks, but I know like some songs from movie soundtracks.
Hey, Evan, did you know this? I'm about to lay a big Frank Ocean fact on you.
Let's think about this.
It's a Frank Ocean related fact, though.
Oh, I heard Frank Ocean's. Actually, I forgot to say that. I heard Frank Ocean's voice at one of the parts. I forget where, but I remember that's Frank Ocean.
There's a song that plays at the end of the movie, and it's called Wise Man, and it was by Frank Ocean. It was originally written to be in Django Unchained, another very good movie, but Quentin Tarantino, who's the director, couldn't find a scene to place the song in, so it was scrapped from the final cut of Django Unchained, and I guess it showed up in this movie.
1 second.
What?
Someone's supposed to walk in.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Your boy's got pizza though. How did I? So how did my headphones come out? So how did that? Like what? And it's dark. I can't see where this goes.
I'm sorry, bro. It was me. My bad. I've always liked the term Southpaw because I feel like it makes there's part of it I think is this movie is just kind of badass in general, like it's just cool.
Oh yeah, he's like switch Southpaw, and that's how he lands the big punch that wins in the fight.
And then that's how he finishes the fight right at the end of the movie. And then Kip Moore has the song called Southpaw.
Jaron just likes Southpaw.
The whole concept of a Southpaw is that it's an unorthodox kind of like way of doing something.
Because do you know what the other stance is called?
Probably orthodox.
Orthodox, yeah.
Yeah.
So the way you worded that's actually perfect because Southpaw is unorthodox because it's left-handed.
Yeah, because most people fight right-handed. Oh, and this is awesome actually. Apparently Jake Gyllenhaal is right-handed. So he had to adopt Southpaw in the final fight under the instruction from his trainer. Huh?
It's actually a thing with Southpaws now. There's more Southpaws and more switch stance fighters because it has become popular. Because normally, people would want their good hand in the back so they have a big overhand, right? That's historically how it's been. Recently, you've seen more people who are right-handed start fighting Southpaw because your strong hand's in the front. So your jab is gonna hit way more often than an overhand. But you set up your overhand. You set up the big punches like this. But it's become more popular for more people to just go Southpaw anyways, or whichever their good hand is, put it in front, because you're gonna throw more jabs naturally.
You wear them down a little bit more.
Exactly, it just wears on them more.
That's interesting.
It's funny. Well, not fun. Well, no, funny, because there's one moment with there are moments of people switching Southpaw.
That's hilarious. I'm dying laughing right
now. I know. But there's moments where people that are orthodox have switched Southpaw and knocked people down or out just with a jab like that because you're strong hands. So yeah.
That's cool.
There's more Southpaws now because people don't care about their hands. So
Southpaw facts with Jaron and Evan.
Southpaw is just a cool term, man.
Bro, what? For
Catch
5
me
months.
Southpaw in soccer, actually. I'm left-footed.
Wait,
catch
what?
Catch me going Southpaw in these
You're
games.
left-footed?
Yeah. For soccer. What, do you not have a good... Or you probably have 2 bad feet, that's why.
No,
but
all right.
Some of us have a good foot.
I am right-footed. I guess I've just never... You always talk about people being left-handed and right-handed, but soccer's whack, and so I've never thought about people being left-footed.
It's funny, more people are right-footed, obviously, just like more people are right-handed and stuff. But on our school soccer team...
Are you right-handed?
Yes.
But you're left-footed.
I do everything left except writing and throwing. Like hockey's left, golf is left, soccer's left, all that.
Okay.
But anyways.
But if you throw a baseball or like a frisbee or a football, it's right. Okay. What's wrong with you?
Nothing, because I'm a pro at every athlete, so I'm doing something right.
You're a pro at every athlete? What is...
Oh, every sport.
Do you guys call sports athletes?
Okay, let me finish my... Okay, so our school soccer team, we only had one right-footed person. So it was weird, because it's like, we're all left-footed. Who wants to go on the right side? Nobody, because we're all left-footed, okay? That's my story, Jaron. There it is.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make
And I'm a pro at every friggin' athlete, okay? Every single athlete I am a pro at.
Okay.
Dialing in.
I do have... I thought that this is just kind of crazy to me. There's sometimes like workout regimens that actors will do to get in shape,
he was in good
quickly.
Shape too.
Jake Gyllenhaal undertook a daily routine of 2,000 sit-ups, 200 push-ups, and squats, and then 100 pull-ups and a 6-mile run every day. 2,000 sit-ups.
That's just a long time. But hold on.
Like those other things feel like they aren't that much. But 2,000 sit-ups? That's a lot.
Hold on.
Wow. This is kind of cool.
I can't find how much money Jake Gyllenhaal made for this movie, but it's probably an amount that I would be willing to do that workout thing for. If someone came to me with the money he most likely made from that movie and was like, hey,
but you gotta be able to act too,
I'd be
Evan.
doing 5,000 sit-ups, 10,000, if they're gonna give me that money.
Yeah, I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal got to get his bag.
If it makes money, it makes sense. That's a quote from 50 Cent that he uses a bunch in this movie. Find me using that from now on. That's beautiful. If it makes money, it makes sense.
What did I said something a couple of days ago that a kid in our youth group thought was one of the coolest things ever. Oh, we were at on Sunday afternoon we had our fall festival and I was playing. Do you know what 9 Square is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was playing 9 Square with them. And they were getting upset at me because I had barely done it. One of the kids was getting upset at me because I was I'd been in play. I think I was in the second to last square. By the way, for listeners, if you don't know what 9 Squared is, look it up. I'm not gonna explain it.
It's too hard to explain.
And I was second. I was in the 8th square, so almost in the middle. And I was just chilling there for a really long time.
The goal is to be in the middle for those.
Yeah, and one of the kids was like, Jaron's just been in for forever. What the heck? And I was like, look, bro, everybody's hustle look a little bit different. And, and that blew his mind.
I like that. Saying, everybody's hustle look a little bit different.
Yeah.
Find R. Kelly using that. Just kidding.
He thought it was the coolest thing ever. I thought it was hilarious. This was kind of cool. Well, this is more just workout facts. I always think workouts regiments are interesting, but. So Jake Gyllenhaal did a movie called Nightcrawler, I think right before this, and he had to lose 30 pounds for that.
Oh, so he had to put on weight for this one, didn't he?
So for this, he actually had to put on weight, and he needed to gain 15 pounds, so he trained twice a day, 7 days a week. Big time.
Not bad. Yeah. Taylor didn't deserve that.
Yeah. And also, this is another Eminem fact. The film was originally going to be considered an unofficial follow-up to the movie 8 Mile, which I've heard of, but I don't know what it's about.
Oh, yeah, there's always talk of Eminem in 8 Mile and whatnot, but I don't actually know what it is.
And then, and apparently he was going to reprise his role, but the script evolved, and so it kind of just became a separate thing from 8 Mile. But yeah. Oh no, good movie. What would you what's the score?
I'm gonna give it. I'm so biased because I like combat sports, so I'm gonna give it a 12. No, probably I thought it was a really good movie. If I had a third thumb,
it would be 3 thumbs up. What?
I thought it was really good. I'm gonna give it
That's what one of my kindergartners said today. He said, "If I forget he had tried. We were at an apple orchard today on a field trip." And he was like, you know what a field trip is, right? You guys can't have those? I gotta make sure.
Do we have field trips?
I don't know. You guys don't even have fun.
Do you have Canada, recess there? Is that a thing? Or is that foreign to Canada? Field trips, bro.
I don't know if you call them something else.
Do you know how we get to school in Canada? They pick us up on a yellow bus.
You call beanies tooks or toques or whatever.
Bro said took. Bro said past tense of take. You're gonna put that on your head. Toque.
Look, man, I'm playing it safe, all right? I don't know.
Yes, we have field trips.
It's like me every time Evan talks. Evan, do you need me to explain that for you, little guy? Just
keep going.
I don't know if he knows what that is.
Yes, we have field trips in Canada.
They tried some apple cider fresh made from the orchard, and the kid was like, if I had a third thumb, I'd give it 3 thumbs up. And I was like, me too, man. Me too. I'd give things. If I could give things 3 thumbs up, I would do that. But what'd you say? What'd you give it out of 10?
I'd probably 8. 8 right there. Okay. I really liked it. I think out of all the movies we've watched so far, I only like Casino Royale more.
Okay. That's respectable.
But I think I like Knives Out more than this, which is one I just watched on.
Knives Out is a very good movie.
So right now,
watched it on his. Go ahead.
Yeah, so people don't think we did an episode on that. I watched it. So right now, of the movies I've seen in the last little bit, I'm going Casino Royale.
Why don't we just really quickly talk about Knives Out? We don't have to do a whole thing, but we can kind of. We
already did.
Did we?
Yeah, we went on a 20-minute spiel about it and how there's a sequel coming up and everything.
A 20-minute? I remember we talked about it. What was your score though? What would you score that? Let's just.
I think I was sitting around an 8.5 or a 9 for that. I thought.
An 8.5. Okay. That is a good movie, 100%. I was sick when I watched it, so as I was watching it, I was like, "This is good," but I feel like garbage. and I was like watching it with some of my cousins and my brother, and like they're like, sometimes they'd like say something and they're like, bro, I don't even want to talk right now. I feel like I have to throw up. So that's my memory that's tied with that movie.
See,
but I remember it being good. And when that new one comes out, we're definitely gonna.
Yeah, that will be an episode.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do an episode on it. I think that comes out in November, maybe.
I think it was
Glass
December.
Onion.
I could be wrong.
Oh, I think it comes out in theaters. So I think it comes out in theaters and then it comes out on Netflix. And I'll probably.
By the way. Netflix Canada, Canadian Netflix, sucks, bro.
Get a VPN.
Sucks. Like,
why is it bad?
I'm gonna have to. There's nothing on it. It's like, my two options are like freaking. I don't even know. Like Tim's Adventure to the Dump, or like
what?
I don't know. It's all these random movies. Like
just like random like movies that you've never heard of. Like
it's like why would I want to watch that?
Like straight to DVD movies you'd see in Walmart.
Any movie you want to watch, you can't watch on Canadian Netflix. It's like, what's the point of this?
Do you have a VPN?
No.
Okay, I was just wondering. I don't either. So like, but I do know that like.
Holy heck! I know Cyrus does because he always posts.
Yeah, he.
Reviews of the stuff before it even comes out. I'm like, there's spoilers, and then there's
how does that
downloading
even work?
It before it comes out just to spoil it for me.
How does that even work?
Like, because he switches over to so everything comes out at midnight based on your time zone. So he switches.
But I thought it came out at the same.
Like, he switches to some weird. Maybe it's all North America or something, or all like Europe. So he'll switch to like a European time zone.
Okay.
And then there's like Scandinavian Cyrus listening to the Tyler
I'm pretty sure in the
album.
U.S. it all comes out at the in North America. I think it's all at the same time.
It's probably by continent. Yeah.
Because when I was in Illinois, like here it comes out at midnight. Because we're both in the Eastern time zone. But when I was in Illinois, I was in Central, and it would instead of coming out at midnight, it would come out at 11 p.m.
Which is so nice.
That actually was nice. I ain't gonna front you, Chief. I actually that's one of the things that I miss about.
Because you really think I'm going to be up till like 1 a.m. listening to... No.
I can't do that most of the time. Like, people will be talking about the album, and I'm like, look, I'm not. Unless Josh Turner, or unless it's like Eric Church or Kip Moore or something, and it's like and I don't...
If there's like
it's
a
like
huge album.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Absolutely massive, bruv. And while we're on that topic, I haven't even listened to... I started listening to Ashley McBride's album. When you joined, I was listening to it. When you joined the call, and I'm like 3 songs in, and then I haven't even touched Tyler Childers yet. I've listened to Ben Burgess like a little bit.
I've listened to Ben Burgess a few times. I've listened to what are the versions called? I've listened to the 2 versions that aren't Joyful Noise. Is it the Hallelujah version and the something version? I don't know. The first 2.
I don't know, man. I haven't touched that album. I'm not sure.
I've listened to 2 of the Childers versions.
But yeah, I guess you rated Southpaw, so I'll rate it. We'll get back on track here, and then we can wrap her up. Condom joke.
Are we a penis? Is this podcast a penis? Like, is it a song?
Bro,
what?
Your response to the...
Wrap it up now.
Hey, yo, that's what she said. He's just leaving. Okay, guys, I'll score it. Evan left. I'm alone. I'd probably give this one like a 7.5, maybe like a 7.25 or something like that. Very solid. But it's up there.
Right,
I actually think I like Warrior more.
I hope you wrapped up the episode.
And I had to give my score. Evan's back. He's upset. Come back. The episode's over.
Is the episode done?
Yeah.